10 key mindset differences between the strong and the weak. At an important press conference, a journalist asked Jonathan Hayes, the chairman of a leading global corporation, "Sir, what is the key to success in life?" Without hesitation, Hayes replied, "It all comes down to mindset. Our mindset not only influences how we tackle challenges, but also determines how far we can go in life. The way we think and perceive the world shapes our decisions, actions, and ultimately, our success and fulfillment. Here are 10 key differences in mindset between the strong and the weak, which can help you grow, develop resilience, and move towards a successful and meaningful life." Sonlan 1. Weak people focus only on personal gain. Strong people share success with others. Truly great individuals consider how their actions benefit others, not just themselves. As an old saying goes, success should be shared, not hoarded. In contrast, some people are only concerned with taking advantage of others. Whether in business, politics, or daily life, they exploit workers, damage the environment, and put personal gain above all else. However, what they fail to realize is that life operates on principles of fairness and trust. Selfishness may bring short-term benefits, but it leads to long-term failure. Take the example of Oliver Grant, a respected entrepreneur in the manufacturing industry. When material costs surged unexpectedly, he chose to keep prices stable rather than passing the burden on to customers. Many criticized his decision, calling it naive. But Grant understood that maintaining trust and long-term partnerships was more valuable than short-term profit. As a result, his business not only survived but flourished, gaining loyal customers who appreciated his integrity. Jonathan Hayes also emphasized, "Looking out for yourself ensures survival, but looking out for others ensures longevity." True success comes from creating value for others. Those who act with generosity and integrity earn respect, trust, and lasting partnerships. An old principle states, "Treat others as you wish to be treated. If you seek success, help others succeed." Throughout history, those who consider the well-being of others are the ones who earn the deepest respect and admiration. Once, weak people tear each other down. Strong people lift each other up. A common trait in human nature is jealousy. Many people struggle to see others succeed. What they don't realize is that envy is one of the biggest barriers to personal success. Consider the crab mentality. If you place a single crab in a bucket, it will likely climb out. But if you put multiple crabs in the same bucket, none of them will escape. Why? Because as soon as one crab starts climbing up, the others will pull it back down. Instead of working together to escape, they sabotage each other. And in the end, they all remain trapped. This is the crab mentality law, which contains a thought-provoking philosophy about modern society. It reflects the mindset of many people who, because they are unhappy, want to see others unhappy as well. They can't climb to the top themselves, so they try to pull others down, ensuring that others can't reach the top either. The more outstanding a person is, and the higher their moral character, the more they know how to support and lift others. They find joy, happiness, and success in the achievements of others as if they were their own. There's a meaningful parable. A young man once asked God what the difference between heaven and hell was. God then took him on a tour. In hell, there was a group of people sitting around in dim light. They each held a long spoon, but because the spoons were too long, they couldn't feed themselves. They could only helplessly stare at their food, unable to eat. They were so weak from hunger, their bodies gaunt and frail, and still couldn't get a single bite of soup. In heaven, however, the scene was the opposite. Everyone also had a long spoon, but instead of trying to feed themselves, they used the spoons to feed one another. Everyone shared the soup, and because of this, no one went hungry. Their faces were full of joy, satisfaction, and warmth. A truly wise person understands that helping one another is the greatest form of fulfillment. No one can truly be satisfied living alone on a deserted island. In life, People must help each other, building connections and bridges so that they can pave a smoother and more expansive path for themselves. A person with a kind heart knows how to help others, and they are the truly wise ones who understand this truth. Some people gather wood to fuel a fire that grows ever higher. Those who harbor envy and don't want others to be successful are like small-minded individuals, spreading negativity wherever they go, bringing hell along with them. However, if a person can let go of their jealousy, stop harboring ill will, and focus on helping others and wishing them well, they can elevate their own life to a higher level. 3. The weak seek revenge, the strong forgive. Albert Einstein once said, "The weak seek revenge, the strong are not troubled." No matter who you are in life, you will inevitably encounter small-minded people or face unfair situations. Some people struggle to let go and want to get revenge, unknowingly turning themselves into the very evil they despise. On the other hand, the strong can see the underlying causes and are genuinely capable of forgiving others with a kind heart. If the other person is willing to change, that's great. If not, they don't dwell on the past. They focus on their own growth and move forward with a smile, because they know that what you sow is what you reap. Karma has always been impartial. How you perceive things will ultimately determine your path. Those who harbor hatred carry an inner pain, not only from the harm caused by others, but also from the resentment within themselves. In life, many people are unhappy not because life is particularly difficult, but because they hold on to too many grudges. Oscar Wilde once said, "For my own sake, I must forgive some people in life. 8 or 9 things out of 10 don't go as planned, and if we keep focusing on petty grudges, we will imprison our souls in a dark cage." Imagine carrying the weight of resentment and anger on your shoulders. Not only does it exhaust you, but it also steals your ability to enjoy life. Only when you let go of past hurts can you open your arms to embrace a future of happiness and peace. The weak tend to gather in groups, while the strong often walk alone. It has been said, wild animals walk alone, while sheep follow the herd. In life, many people are like cows and sheep, believing that being part of a group brings them safety. However, in reality, the so-called love for socializing only wastes time and energy, making people increasingly mediocre. Walking alone doesn't mean being arrogant or cold. It means that even when you're by yourself, you can still feel happy and content. It means not blindly following a crowd, but having the courage to listen to your heart and the confidence to stick to your ideals, walking the path you should take, even if you're alone. A psychologist, when first studying abroad, was afraid of being considered outdated or out of touch with the times. As a result, she joined noisy parties, even drinking heavily and watching movies she didn't enjoy. Eventually, her grades began to drop, and she felt physically uncomfortable. It wasn't until one day, when she decided to study alone in the library, that her restless heart finally calmed. She felt an immense sense of satisfaction and peace within herself. From that point on, she gave up all social events and focused solely on her studies. Ultimately, she became a renowned psychologist, a medical expert in psychology at a prestigious university, and a popular speaker. She said, "People are either alone or they find themselves. This has always been the way of the world." The weak crave being part of a crowd, seeking a sense of belonging and filling the emptiness within them with noise and chaos. Yet they simultaneously push themselves into the abyss of mediocrity. Meanwhile, the exceptional achieve their accomplishments by walking alone. As the saying goes, low-quality socializing is not as good as high-quality solitude. One key aspect of building high-quality relationships is the ability to listen to and understand others. Strong people are good at communication but are not drained by it. On the contrary, they act in a way that ensures both sides feel comfortable. Wise individuals are accustomed to walking alone. They spend more time with themselves, enriching their own lives. Even when alone, they allow themselves to see more clearly who they really are and what they truly need and want in life. They become more adept at simplifying their lives and enjoying life with a sense of inner peace. 5. The weak tend to get angry and frustrated easily, while the strong remain calm and tolerant. A truly strong person will undoubtedly have a calm inner world, a warm heart, and a wise mind. Such a person has surely gone through storms and turmoil, reflected on the deep mountains and valleys, and witnessed the complexity of human life. It is said, a person with ability but no temper is a superior person. A person with ability but a temper is an intermediate person. A person without ability but with a temper is an inferior person. The weak are often quick to anger, much like a tiger. Moreover, they are quick to lose their temper, while the strong remain calm like water, stable and steady. A person whose heart is not calm will see turmoil everywhere, even in the smallest matters, which will only magnify in their eyes. There is a recorded story about a man who was appointed as a duke. He had a very hot temper. One time, he tried to pick up a boiled egg with chopsticks but failed. In his frustration, he threw the egg on the ground. Seeing it fall, he stepped on it but still couldn't crush it. He was so angry that he picked the egg up, bit into it, and then sighed in relief. This one egg caused him to lose control of his emotions. Such people are not uncommon in life. Every time something small happens, they get angry, trying to cover up their impatience and fear. But the consequence of this behavior is always the same. Things get worse. A truly wise person knows how to use their intelligence without resorting to anger. The weak can only get angry but cannot act with wisdom. It is said, "Do not let anger reduce your intelligence. Do not hold grudges, for they will cloud your judgment. Only when you can control your emotions can you truly control your life. A person who can control their emotions is greater than a general who can conquer a city. Only those who are truly strong have vast minds. They are generous with others and do not waste time and emotions on trivial matters." A high-ranking official once encountered a situation where a large palanquin, carried by 8 people, was on a narrow road. When he met the palanquin, only 4 people were carrying it, and the other side thought that the official was of lower rank and said nothing as they moved forward. However, when the official in the palanquin saw the high-ranking officer, he was so frightened that he immediately bowed and apologized. The official didn't get angry. Instead, he helped the official stand up and smiled, saying, "I am blocking the road. I will not blame anyone." The ancient saying goes, "A true gentleman forgives even small people," meaning that one must be tolerant to become a true noble person. The size of a person's mind determines the scale and scope of their life. The broader the mind, the wider the path in life. Those with an open mindset will spend time improving themselves and strengthening their abilities. They do not allow themselves to become slaves to their emotions, knowing that losing control will only lead to irrationality and losing oneself. Only when you can control your emotions can you stay calm and achieve your goals. When you have conflicts with others, anger and criticism will only worsen the situation. It is through generosity, tolerance, and emotional restraint that we can achieve peace of mind, spark wisdom, and create miracles. 6. The weak often display their strength, while the strong show their weakness. The eagle stands with its eyes half closed as though sleeping, and the leisurely movement of the tiger appears as if it is sick. In reality, they are preparing to execute the most sophisticated tactics to catch their prey. A gentleman with virtue knows how to demonstrate wisdom quietly, without flaunting his talents. This way, he is fully capable of taking on heavy responsibilities. A person who dares to appear weak is not truly weak, but someone who knows how to retreat in order to advance. This is the method of using gentleness to overcome rigidity, using softness to conquer strength. By remaining flexible, one creates space to maneuver, solving many problems. There is a saying, "The ripe grain bows its head, and the deep river remains still." This reflects the principle of talent. The more capable a person is, the more humble and less boastful they become. Why do they not demonstrate their strength and pride more? It is because they understand a common truth. All aspects of an issue must be viewed from opposing perspectives. A river that is too full will overflow, and a full moon will eventually wane. Evil arises along with self-satisfaction. The wiser or more capable a person is, the more they understand that arrogance only makes others retreat, while humility encourages progress. Therefore, they act carefully, behave humbly, and refrain from boasting. Displaying strength is a disguise of the weak, while showing weakness is the wisdom of the strong. By learning to lower your posture, remain humble, and control your sharpness, you can avoid unnecessary conflicts and wait for the right moment to act. 7. The weak complain, while the strong make changes. Many people often say, "Why is everything going wrong? Every day feels like bad luck is following me. I can never catch a break. Can anyone help me?" Complaining about fate doesn't change it. Complaining about life doesn't improve it. There's an old saying, "A noble person improves themselves when they lack virtue, and never blames others." Strong people never blame others. They respond positively and look for ways to change their situation. There's a story about a man who wasn't successful at first. He went to a business region, but every time, his plans failed due to a lack of capital, and he even got robbed. He saw others making money while he struggled, which made him frustrated. He blamed his poor family background and the selfishness of people. Eventually, he became seriously ill. After recovering, he noticed that there was a demand for baskets to transport goods. He saw an opportunity and quickly shifted his focus from his previous business to buying up baskets in the area. When others ran out of baskets and needed them to carry their goods, they had no choice but to buy from him at a high price. Although he didn't sell his original product, he made a lot of money by selling the baskets. Life often doesn't go according to our plans, and sometimes things don't turn out as expected. If you keep complaining, you'll only get stuck in a cycle of negative emotions. Instead, learn to assess yourself and fix problems in time. No matter how big the issue is, it can be solved with the right approach. The weak avoid problems, while the strong face them and find solutions. It's often said that ordinary people shy away from problems, while wise people address them, and truly intelligent people find a way to eliminate the issue altogether. When facing hardship, many people instinctively choose to avoid it, avoiding instability, potential problems, or difficulties, and convince themselves that they've overcome the challenge. You've probably seen friends, colleagues, or even yourself avoiding a difficult situation instead of confronting it. But have you ever seen someone putting in their best effort to solve the problem? There's a story about a man who was once terrified by his own shadow. One day, he mistakenly thought his shadow was a monster causing trouble, so he ran away in fear. The faster he ran, the faster his shadow followed, and he ended up running so much that he became exhausted and eventually collapsed. Life is like this. For every moment of calm, there will be challenges. Just like how everyone's shadow follows them in the sunlight, the more you avoid problems, the more they'll pile up. Eventually, you'll be overwhelmed by them. Avoidance is a natural instinct, but when it becomes a habit, people tend to run away from their problems instead of thinking of solutions. A psychologist once said, "If you don't solve a problem, it will eventually become your problem." The problems you push into tomorrow will only grow and force you to deal with them later. If you keep loading your back with burdens, eventually, they'll crush you. A wise person doesn't see avoidance as a solution. When faced with difficulties, they don't run away or compromise. Instead, they analyze the problem carefully and look for ways to solve it. A person with a sharp mind is good at recognizing problems and finding solutions. There's another story about a teacher who was traveling. He met an elderly man with a hunchback who was using a long stick to catch cicadas with impressive skill. The teacher asked him, "Your technique is amazing. Do you have a secret?" The old man replied, "I have my way. The stick is long, and catching the cicada is not easy. But after months of practice, I've perfected it. When I catch the cicada, I stand firmly, as steady as a tree, and my arm holding the stick is like a branch. Even though there's a vast world around me, I focus entirely on the cicada and ignore all distractions. That's how I succeed. Wise people, when faced with problems, stay calm, analyze them thoroughly, and work on solving them. When things get tough, they're willing to put in all their effort to improve and overcome challenges. Strong people, like this, can't fail. If you ever feel like giving up, remind yourself to stay motivated, give your best, and face your challenges head-on. Just like a spring, the more it's compressed, the stronger the rebound. Once you overcome the initial obstacles, you'll find yourself in a better position. Don't be afraid. Don't run away. Face your problems, and only then can you grow and succeed. 9. The weak rely on others, while the strong rely on themselves. There's a saying, if you lean on a mountain, it may fall. If you lean on a person, they may walk away. In life, always remember that you are your most dependable support. When storms come, no matter how large someone else's shelter is, it will never be as strong as your own protection. Only when you learn to shield yourself can you move forward with courage, undeterred by challenges. This resilience helps you face difficulties with calm and build a stable foundation for your life. Everyone, at some point, seeks support to avoid life's struggles. But once you get used to relying on something, one day, that support might crumble or vanish, leaving you to rely on yourself. When that happens, you may discover you don't even have the strength to stand up. Life's unpredictability doesn't allow us to stay dependent forever. If you depend too much on others, you risk forgetting how to rely on yourself. When tears can't help, when you're alone without anyone to turn to, how will you face life's storms? How will you protect yourself and those you care about? Don't depend too much on anyone, because even your own shadow may leave you when you're in the dark. As a famous writer once said, never place your hopes in others for anything you do, whether it's relationships or work. Otherwise, the result will surprise you, and you won't know how to react. The strong understand that dependence is like a barrier to success. To achieve something great, they must move that barrier out of the way. Life is tough. You have to learn to get up after you fall, because no one will lift you up when you stumble. As a wise figure once said, a bird on a tree doesn't worry about the branch breaking because it relies on its wings. This is true for strong people. They prepare themselves to face any challenges, even the worst. They can rise above any situation with their own strength. Rather than relying on others, strong individuals focus on improving themselves to handle life's hurdles. They know that if you rely on others, you're like a grown child, needing constant care. Wise people trust the principle of karma and don't depend on others for help or power. They teach their children to be independent, working hard for what they have. Eventually, you'll realize that the path of life is one you must walk alone. No one can walk it with you forever. So instead of relying on others, depend on yourself. If there's something you can do, don't ask others to do it for you. That way, you can stand tall, like a strong tree, no matter how tough life gets. Keep pushing forward, and you'll find that one day, you'll be just as capable as those you once looked up to. With confidence and independence, you'll accomplish things you never thought possible. 10. The weak are indulgent, the strong are disciplined. In the treasure trove of ancient philosophy, we often come across profound lessons about the power of discipline and the dangers of indulgence. Let's reflect on a story about a student of a wise teacher. One day, the student asked, "Why do I feel lost and unable to make progress, even though I've tried so hard?" The teacher replied, "You are like someone who intends to wake up early every day to practice, but as soon as the dawn breaks, you go back to sleep. You are like someone who wants to learn but is distracted by temporary pleasures. In the end, achieving nothing. This story teaches us that indulgence is the root cause of feeling lost and failing. The weak easily follow fleeting pleasures and are left with nothing but endless regrets, much like a woodcutter who wants to chop a tree, but lacks the perseverance, so the tree stands firm while the person grows exhausted. On the other hand, the strong understand the importance of discipline, refining themselves like sharpening a knife. Consider the story of another wise individual. This person once said, "Discipline is the light that guides us on our path." Every day, they woke up early to practice both their mind and body, never letting themselves be swayed by trivial temptations. Thanks to this discipline, they became one of the most revered figures in history. In ancient times, there was a farmer who woke up early every day to tend to his fields. Despite the hard work, his discipline brought him abundant harvests, while his neighbor, who slept late every day, had nothing to harvest when the season came, only regret. As the ancients often said, everything that life gives us comes at a hidden price. Every moment of comfort gained through indulgence will eventually be paid for with greater regrets. Only by maintaining self-discipline, resisting short-term desires, and enduring hardship to grow, can we earn the rewards and lasting success we seek in life. Recall the story of a celebrated scholar from the past. He once said, "Discipline is the bridge to success." He never stopped learning and practicing every day, whether rain or shine. It was this perseverance and discipline that made him a renowned scholar and poet. The strong understand that discipline is not just a tool to achieve goals, but also a journey of self-improvement. Success does not come from great achievements overnight, but from small, consistent efforts made every day. Self-discipline is the key to becoming the best version of yourself and staying strong on your path to success. Be strong and move forward. Don't let short-term temptations slow you down. Look to ancient stories for inspiration. With discipline and determination, you'll find that you can accomplish extraordinary things that you never imagined. The future is not just a destination, but a journey you walk each day, with each firm step and resilient heart. Remember the 10 mindsets that differentiate the strong from the weak, which we've explored, and use them to expand your thinking, change your habits, and stay focused. From now on, keep your discipline strong. Don't shy away from difficulties, and cultivate a resilient heart. Keep moving forward slowly but steadily. In the end, you will surpass your past self and become stronger and better than ever before. If you found this content useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Way to Success so you don't miss the next videos on life philosophies, lessons, and timeless values. Let's spread good values that make life more meaningful and filled with happiness. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.